Okay, YouTube, here we are. We're back with another one, and this video is going to be about ball python care. How I care for mine. It's the way you care for ball pythons. Now, you got to keep in mind that these are animals that come from regions of the world that are very hot. They come from Africa. That's where you find them. You won't find them in the woods or here in the U.S. If they are, somebody released them, and you're lucky. He's lucky you found them. Now, they come from very hot regions. The temperatures they like to be in, I think it's between like 85 to 95 degrees. I have something over here. Let me see what it says. And on it says for pythons, 82 to 90 degrees. But I think they can stand a little bit hotter because I know it does get hotter over there in those regions. This is the female. She is about 3.5 years old. They all are. They're all about 3.5 years old. This is the male. No, it's not the male. This is the male. Yep. Female and two males. So they're all about 3.5 years old, and they're pretty easy to care for. They don't like a lot of space. So too much space will have them feeling insecure, not too comfortable. They like a small space. You could keep one in a 20-gallon tank probably for the rest of his life, 20, 30-gallon tank. Put some substrate in there, keep the humidity about 82 degrees, about between 82 to 90 degrees. I'd say about 85 would be perfect. Humidity, you could get humidity for it, but another way is just to cover the top, keep a little section open, and put a big bowl of water in there. The water will evaporate into the tank and will give the snake humidity. And then if it's big enough, he can go in there and dip himself in there. As long as he has a heat source. He does need a heat source. But for ball pythons, it's not so important that they have like a light source. The light source is not as important as a heat source. You want to use like a heat pad, under tank heat pad. You can put it in the side of the tank like I do in my tanks, or under the tank. Heat rocks I do not recommend. Sometimes they do malfunction, they get very hot, and these snakes will burn their bellies. I do have a heat rock I know in my bottom tank over here that I've had for a long time. I do need to replace it, and I do need to replace it. But I've had it for a long time buried under the substrate, and that would just warm the area there. But I think that damages those heat rocks. It says not to bury them, and that's what I did years ago with it, and I think that's why it kind of like damaged. I think it gets a little too hot sometimes, because I temperatured it and it was like, I think like 116 degrees. I was like, wow, I think it's a little too hot. So I don't know what's wrong. Maybe I was like malfunctioning. But anyway, back to the ball pythons. So yeah, you want to keep them in as long as you have a heat source for them, like a heat pad or something, because where they can go and get their heat and bring up their body temperatures. You don't want to have them, without a heat source at all. They will die. They can die. They'll get sick. If they don't die, they'll build up a respiratory problem, and they'll build those respiratory problems quick. So you want to make sure they can get their heat source. Feed them once a week. Once a week. They're very docile. You can feed them. They get used to feeding live or tame or frozen thawed mice. They say if you feed them live, it makes them aggressive. I don't think so. Mine are pretty tame. They never bit me, and they're tame. And I feed them live all the time. Since they were babies, they've been eating live mice. They have eaten frozen thawed. I have tried it, and they have taken it, so that was pretty good. But it's just easier for me to get the live and just pick them up and just throw them in there and leave them. And they're pretty much used to it. And let me see what else can I think of. Yeah, light source. You don't really need a light source for them because these are nocturnal animals in the wild. Their natural being is at night. They come out at night to look for food. So at night it's dark. They can see very good at night. So you won't need that. I would say just as long as they have a heat source for them and a hide. They need a hide to feel secure, and that's about it. And they'll be all right. So I think that's about it I can think of for the ball pythons. What else can I think about? they get about, a good reason to keep them also is because they get about only about 3 to 4 feet. So for young kids, if you want to start them off with their first snake, a ball python is perfect. They don't bite. I mean, they will bite. You gotta tame them. You gotta handle them. They get used to it, and they won't bite once they get used to you. These guys have never bit me. But yep, that's how you take care of ball pythons. If I can think of anything else, I'll make another video. I hope I kept everything in here and put everything in. Leave a comment, let me know. And alright, I'll get back to you another one. I'll get back to you with a Savannah monitor video care. How to care for some man monitors, another one for carpet pythons. And red ear sliders. Alright, thanks for watching.